Federal law requires Medicare to cover mental health services in both traditional Medicare and Medicare Advantage, or MA, the program that allows private insurance companies to offer Medicare coverage. Now, unlike traditional Medicare, the private insurance companies in Medicare Advantage can establish networks to restrict the doctors or facilities that beneficiaries can use. So if your doctor is in network, the plan will cover those services for a small copay, but an out-of-network doctor can leave patients with skyrocketing costs. This can be especially devastating for seniors or for people with disabilities who are more likely to be living on fixed incomes. To help beneficiaries avoid these surprise costs, MA plans are required to publish directories which enrollees can use to find new doctors or to make sure their existing doctors are covered. So let's start with what we know about the accuracy of these directories. There have been some references to them, but Ms. Gilberti, did I say it right, Ms. Gilberti? What do we know about the accuracy of the provider directories in Medicare Advantage?
So CMS has done some audits, Senator, and what they found was on average, the accuracy rate was about 45%. So,
what does that mean that the accuracy rate is 45%?
You know, they found in 2018, I think it was, almost 50% had at least one inaccuracy. So, we're seeing a good deal of inaccuracies. That's with physical health care. Just say there's a gap in data because they haven't done this for behavioral health yet.
And might we surmise that behavioral health accuracy?
Worse. It's always worse.
It's always worse. It's always worse. Okay. So you think you've got a list of people you can go to, and the odds are actually in favor of the list is wrong, and probably even worse on behavioral health. All right. So here we've got a patient who does everything right. They still may be hit with a huge bill because a directory has outdated or inaccurate information. Or they might call up every doctor only to find out that we've heard about some of this. The phone numbers don't work. They're not accepting new patients.
Happy Sunday, friends. So they want to pass a new bill. Friends, this is important news. Biden administration officials are now debating on what steps they will need to take in order to avoid a huge crisis in the United States. Their action is expected to affect millions of Americans' finances. So my friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing more winners for the $75 Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. Remember, dear friends, the more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. A standoff between House Republicans and President Biden over raising the nation's borrowing limit has administration officials debating on what to do if the government runs out of cash to pay its bills. This includes one option that previous administrations had deemed unthinkable. That option is effectively a constitutional challenge to the debt limit. Under this theory, the government would be required to continue issuing new debt to pay bondholders, Social Security recipients, government employees, and others, even if Congress fails to lift the limit before the so-called X date. That theory rests on the 14th Amendment Clause, stating that the validity of the public debt of the United States, authorized by law, shall not be questioned. Some legal scholars contend that language overrides the statutory borrowing limit, which currently caps federal debt at $31.4 trillion and requires congressional approval to raise or lift that debt limit. Top economic and legal officials at the White House, the U.S. Treasury Department, and the Justice Department have made that theory a subject of intense and unresolved debate in recent months. It is unclear whether Biden would support such a move, which would have serious ramifications for the economy and almost undoubtedly challenges from Republicans. Continuing to issue debt in that situation would avoid an immediate disruption in the consumer demand by maintaining government payments, but borrowing costs are likely to soar. Still, the debate is taking on new urgency as the United States inches closer to a default. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned on Monday that the government could run out of cash as soon as June 1st if the borrowing cap is not lifted. Biden is set to meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy at the White House on May 9th to discuss fiscal policy, along with other top congressional leaders from both parties. The president's invitation was spurred by the accelerated warning of the arrival of the X date. But it remains unclear what type of compromise may be reached in time to avoid a default. House Republicans have refused to raise or suspend the debt ceiling unless Biden accepts spending cuts, fossil fuel supports, and a repeal of Democratic climate policies, contained in a bill that narrowly cleared the chamber last week. Biden has said Congress must raise a debt limit without any conditions, though he also said he is open to separate discussions about the nation's fiscal path. A group of legal scholars and some activists have pushed the constitutional challenge to the borrowing limit for more than a decade. Other legal scholars say the limit is constitutional. The president has repeatedly said it is a job of Congress to raise the limit in order to avoid an economically catastrophic default. Top officials, including Janet Yellen and White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, have sidestepped questions about whether they believe the Constitution would compel the government to continue borrowing to pay its bills after the X date. ABC News has asked Janet Yellen, amid a debt ceiling standoff in 2021, if she would invoke the 14th Amendment to resolve it. She said at the time, "It is Congress's responsibility to show that they have the determination to pay the bills that the government amasses." Progressive groups have encouraged Biden to take actions meant to circumvent Congress on the debt limit and to continue uninterrupted spending. For example, like minting a $1 trillion coin to deposit with the Federal Reserve. Internally, administration officials have rejected most of those ideas. Publicly, Biden aides have said the only way to avert a crisis is for Congress to act. But inside the administration, it remains an open question what the U.S. Treasury would do if Congress does not raise a limit in time. Because many officials say the law is unclear and so is the Constitution, which gives Congress the power to tax and spend. There is a broad consensus on both sides of the debate that the move risks roiling financial markets. It is likely to cause a surge in short-term borrowing costs because investors would demand a premium to buy debt that could be invalidated by a court. But we can expect to see officials release new information this week. Well, my beautiful and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video. Thank you, dearest friends, for being here and for being part of this community. To show my appreciation and to say thank you, I will be announcing several winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. Remember, dear friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.